guy, the Oryx, there you go. There's an incredibly beautiful antelope, these guys. And they're one of the most adaptable species to living in desert lifestyle. And the Oryx stretches pretty much from Arabia, so up past the Emirates and all the way through Africa into South Africa. This is the largest family of Oryx. They're called South African Oryx. There's some ground squirrels running around on the ground there as well. But with these guys, they are mostly gaining moisture from the food that they're eating. So anything from small shoots of grass, weeds, and they'll even eat these little seed pods that are scattered around the reserve at the moment. There's the Springbok to the right. With these guys, it's incredible. Both of them, in fact, are completely what you call water independent species. So the Oryx is actually a mixed feeder for the most part out here. And then for the Springbok is almost exclusively a little grazer.
And he's all
but been seen eating all kinds of other stuff as well.
But it's all alone, is that normal?
It's for a little bachelor. I think that its partner did have a partner that was out here, but she got killed by, or he got killed by a leopard. A subterranean burrowing species, so basically what happens is these little guys dig down into the ground to make little tunnel networks which they live and habitate. And then with the species like meerkat and yellow mongoose, they'll actually be in the same place with them as well. But for these guys, they're pretty much the vegetarians of the group. They're the only ones that will eat anything like seeds, grass, everything in this group. Which is a normal number for these guys. I've seen colonies of up to 20 ground squirrels.
Was it one of them a little one? It looks much smaller.
Look-see. I wouldn't be surprised.
It just sat down, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. They do come out not as readily as, like, for example, meerkat pups. But they do definitely come out when they're younger. Yeah, you're right. So the one on the right side is definitely a younger individual. It's much smaller than the other two.
Yeah, it's tiny.
The beautiful Pumalanga sand river area. And even up towards like Kenya, those sides of the world. Where of course they do the big migration. So they're very, very diverse species, and they're very hardy animals. So pretty much are able to eat most unpalatable to palatable grass species. You can see how flat his mouth is. With a flat mouth like that, it's a great indication he's a grazer, meaning he eats almost exclusively grass. So what he does is he uses those lips to pull all the grass up into his mouth. It's an insanely powerful rump and shoulders in order to run long distances for a good amount of speed as well. This is a bull. It's interesting, she's busy eating like the new shoots of this silver raisin bush, and probably the little flowers off of it as well, which I wouldn't think taste very good. The tree has very high tannin in it. It's a very bitter tree for them to eat. It means that it's very low palatability and very poor tasting for these guys. So for the most part, Southholt though is just incredibly hardy. It's significantly better to survive out here. But for these guys, unfortunately, it's like, imagine living off of like stale bread for your entire life, and then all of a sudden someone brings you like pieces of chocolate. That's what these little things are. So it's awesome.